So last year I did something that you're never supposed to do. Like if you've studied Greek mythology, you know you're not supposed to do this. This was my hubris. So in May of last year, I thought I had everything in the world I needed. I was happily married. I had a stable government job. I was a partner in a small publishing firm that had just signed its biggest client to date. My mortgage was about to be paid off. My car was about to be paid off. And I looked at my life and said, I've accomplished everything I need to. What's left to accomplish? And I just said it was just like praying to the heavens, like, you know what, I'm ready for whatever the next lesson is. And wow, lesson. Because I realized that my entire life was a lie. I was the only person happy in my marriage. And I didn't know that. My job that was stable was not stable. They've been planning to get rid of me for years. I saw it coming, told them I saw it coming, and because they just don't give a shit, they kept doing it. And the union let them do it. So I didn't have a stable job at all. I realized that I was staying in the publishing company more of as an ego thing. Because it was nice to say to people, oh yes, I work for a publishing company. Yes, I'm a partner in a small publishing company. It was really good for the ego to say that. It didn't make me any money, but it was a passion and I loved doing it. I realized that I could just as easily say, I used to be a publicist. Sorry. Just got a text message, got distracted. I realized that I could just as easily inflate my ego by saying, hey, I used to be a publisher. I used to be a publisher. And it was just as much of a good ego trip for me to say I used to be a publisher than I am a publisher. Which means that I was in it for the wrong reasons. Because that's not why, I don't know. I loved it. I loved helping writers just find their voice and making their books better. I loved designing the covers. I loved everything about it. Just, people don't buy books anymore, so there's not a lot of money in publishing. It was all a lie. I thought I had a good circle of friends, but today someone reached out to me for the first time in 8 months. And it wasn't to say, hey, how are you doing? How have you been? None of that. Even though they know all the shit that I've been through, it wasn't that. They didn't reach out to say that. They reached out to say, Joe, I think you're being too mean to your ex. I think I have not been mean enough. I think I have been a really, really good boy who's let a lot of petty, stupid people mistreat him. That's what I think. I think that I've been a people pleaser for far too long. I think that I've had maybe not the best boundaries. I've let people treat me ways that they shouldn't have treated me. And I've always been focused on healing and improving the situation. That's who I am. So even when someone disrespects me, I still try to make amends. Up to a point. And this is something that people need to realize about Libras, because that's what Libras do. We might seem like we don't know what we're doing. We might seem like we are not able to make decisions. But what it is I'm waiting for all the facts until I make a decision. And then once I have them, my decision is made. But I try to wait till I have all the facts before I make a decision. Which is how I realized that my entire life was a lie. As soon as I looked at the facts. When I got sick, who showed up? Nobody. I did have like a few friends. I don't want to say nobody. But again, I used to have a large circle of what I thought were friends. And I did have maybe two people, maybe three. Three. That, now it's more than three, but it's just, I'm trying not to like dismiss the blessings, because again, the people that did step up were huge blessings, and people I never thought expected, they stepped up, and that's, probably saved my life. I'm disassociating again. It's easier to talk to the camera than it is to just have an internal monologue. Just really tired of being made to seem like I'm a crazy person for setting very easy boundaries. Today, a repair person showed up, looked at my dishwasher and said, "It's broken, I need to get it apart. It's going to be $100, I only take cash." None of that would have been a problem at all. I was willing to pay that. That's not a problem. I would have done that. If, my ex-husband had actually told me, "By the way, this person only takes cash, make sure you've got the cash there available." Because he didn't do that, I look like an asshole. And when I talked to my ex-husband about it, he's like, "Oh, I'm sorry. That's the way it's been forever." And I know that's like a minor thing. That's a minor thing. The guy was an asshole. I offered to I said, "Give me like a minute and I can e-transfer you the money." And his response was, "No, I'm sorry, I don't have time." Like, if you don't have time to wait 1 minute for me to transfer money to pay you, then you don't get paid. Sorry. I'm sorry, but if your time is too precious that you can't wait 1 minute to get paid $100, go make your money somewhere else, because I'm not paying you. I don't know what these people are thinking. I've spent my whole life putting other people first. If you're like me, you might be a people pleaser. Now, Just some tips from a recovering people pleaser. Tips from a recovering people pleaser. The minute you start setting boundaries, the narcissists in your life are going to start gaslighting you. They're going to start saying that you are now a problem, that you are hurting people. Look at your actions. If your actions are, I'm sorry, this behavior is not acceptable, you're not hurting anyone. I was going to TikTok you, but I don't even think I need to do this right now. Like this morning, one of my friends, someone I thought was a friend, Rick, texted me, and you know what? Let me actually read the text. So I haven't heard from Rick. You know, I'm looking at my text messages, and this might be the only text message I've ever got from him. So he didn't text message me during the divorce. Didn't text message me during didn't message me when I got fired. I thought when I saw the text message he was going to offer me a, like, hey, our office is hiring or something like that, because that's what most people have been doing. Most people reaching out to me right now have been saying, hey, here's a lead on a job, apply here. But no, his response was, hey Joe, the last we talked you were seeking clarity. I was confident my old friend was on track to a better state of mind. Your most recent can't trust men post shitting all over your exes is not fair one bit to Rob. First off, I don't have to be fair to Rob. Newsflash, I am allowed to have my response to my ex-husband. Adele wrote an album about it. And I did a post saying, trust your instinct over someone else. And that was enough for him to say that I was shitting all over my ex. If I wanted to shit all over my ex, I could. Lots of stories I could tell. Because the image that most people have of him is not real. It's fake. It's fake. I don't even think I ever know him. Like, I see him now, I'm like, he just pretended to be a different person. Like a fucking sociopath. He had this identity that he put on in public. I loved him so much. And I'm shitting all over him by saying, trust your instinct over a guy. I'll continue. All relationships have their ups and downs, highs and lows. I can't imagine Rob ever treated you the way you allude to in this video. That's right. You can't allude. You can't imagine it. Because you don't fucking know him. You don't know him. You know the illusion he puts on when he steps out the door. He pretends to be a person that he thinks people will like. But no, me saying, trust your instinct, is shitting all over him. I'll continue. It makes you look petty. It makes out to be a coward, which I know you are not. Bitch, you are the coward. Because here's what a friend would do. If a friend was concerned that I was in a bad place, they might call me up and say, hey Joe, can I come over and have a talk with you? That's what a friend would do, because that's what friends have done. The few people I know who stepped up and are friends, that's what they did. When they thought I was acting crazy, when I was crazy, they reached out and said, Joe, let's have a conversation. They didn't send a fucking text message. But back to the coward. Not everything has to be shared with the world. Please pay attention to how you, yes you, are constantly pushing your circle of friends away. Okay. Really? I am pushing you away. For me to push you away means you have to be beside me first. And again, this is the first text message from this person. They're not a friend. I thought they were, because I've known him for 18 years. And he's saying I'm pushing him away. Well, when I was screaming for help, did you come? When I was saying, please, I need help, come to me, I need help, you didn't step up then. I asked for help. People helped. You did not. You're not a friend. Going back to the gaslighting. I totally get it. Sometimes we have to prune away friends that we have had for a very long time, and it can be difficult. I can't imagine every single person in our circle is a racist or two-faced or somehow has done you wrong. Okay. Wow. Never once have I said anyone in my circle of friends was racist. Never once. Well, except for Brian, who is a fucking racist. Brian, who is very close to being a fucking Nazi. And you know what I did when we were at dinner parties? You know what I did. I smiled and I made polite conversation. Even as he talked about how much he loved Trump, how he hated this group of people or that group of people, how he was transphobic. How long did I sit there and smile and be nice? I know how to be nice to people. You know, I was a friend. I think that's what it was. I was looking at my friend Gabe, who was dating a fucking racist, and I tried to be supportive. When what I should have done is the minute he said the first racist thing, I should have said, that's not acceptable. No, we're not doing that. We're not going to talk about how Trump is the best human being ever. No, that's not acceptable. We don't get to share the same space. But I put up with that for fucking years. The minute I set a boundary and said, no, I'm sorry, I can't do this anymore. I'm the bad guy. You'll notice that this is the first time I talked about Brian. Because I didn't. Brian said something really inappropriate, making fun of how sensitive black people were right after George Floyd died. Like immediately after. And at that point I said, you know what? Step too far, I'm done. I'm out. We're not friends anymore. I did not go on social media to talk about what a fucking horrible human being he is. All I did is set a boundary and said, you know what? We're not together anymore. I'm not with you. And because of that, I'm the problem. So again, I'd never said my friends were racist, but based on this, Rick, I think you might need to look at yourself a little bit, because I think there's something going on up there. I think you see something in yourself now. And that's what that text message is about, because I have never once called you racist. Not once. So if you think that, you might need to examine yourself a little bit. Back. I can't imagine every single person in our circle is a racist or two-faced or somehow has done you wrong. All they have done is nothing. That's it. They didn't do anything wrong, except when I asked for help, they didn't show up. The only thing they did wrong is that when I was going through a divorce, they didn't reach out and say, "Hey Joe, how are you doing?" When I got fired, they didn't reach out and say, "Hey Joe, how are you doing?" So if you know your friend is in trouble and you don't reach out to help them, newsflash, you're not a friend. And if you think that's what friendship is, you are a child. Go watch the Golden Girls, for fuck's sake. Those women had each other's backs. They might have bickered, but when things got rough, they were there. And when things got rough for me, you weren't. And that was a hard lesson. But it told me, you're not a friend. What you're trying to do is manipulate me into feeling bad for the person that's been gaslighting me for... He's been playing mind games with me. He has. But you have decided, no, that's not true. You haven't looked at the evidence, because you haven't asked my side of the story. You have decided, based on what you know, that it's not possible for me to have experienced what I've experienced. And you dated someone whose best friend believes she's an alien princess. Like your ex has a friend named Jax who seriously believes she's the reincarnation of an alien princess. And that's fine. But the fact that Rob might have been lying is unbelievable. He then goes on to say, "I'd like to think I've always been pretty upfront with you, and so I'm sending this text to you. You haven't been upfront. This is a coward's move. This is something you do in high school. If you're a man in their 40s and you think your friend is fucking up, you knock on their door. You show up and say, hey, we need to talk. What the fuck's going on? That's what a man does. But not you. There's so much that I could put Bradley on blast for, and Bradley could put me on blast for. But we don't do that, and our lives are private, and that's where that belongs. Dealing with things with the good people you always brag about. Deal with things like the good person you always bragged to me you were. Okay. Here's what that means. Let me read between the lines. I've never bragged that I am a good person. Because I think if someone's bragging that they're a good person, like Trump, they're not a good person. I would like to unpack, why do you think I'm bragging about being a good person? I think if you look at my social media posts, when I got divorced because I found out my husband had been lying to me for years, all I said was, time for a new adventure, and I'm positive I tried to be the nice little boy again. Fuck you. The fuck do you think you are? Like, seriously, who the fuck do you think you are? Please stop these posts targeting Rob. It will not be helpful. Helpful to whom? It's helpful to me. It's helping me realize that I have not had successful, happy, healthy boundaries for a long time because I've let stupid people tell me what to do. Targeted post. Did I mention his name in that post? Did I link to him? Did I show his picture? I didn't make it about him at all. All I said was, if you feel like someone is lying, walk away. And I stand by that. And my life would be 10 times better if I had done that. Rob's would be 10 times worse. I don't want you to fall down another downward spiral. Lift yourself up and be the better person. Bitch, I am. Here's me being the better person. I'm not asking for spousal support. I'm not going after any of Rob's money. Even though he has all the money. I'm not going after anything. I said, you know what? Let's just call it even. I am the better person. I am the one that said, Rob, we need divorce lawyers. Go get one. I am the one that has been acting like an adult the whole time while all he's been doing is acting like a child flittering from room to room because you don't know who the fuck he is. Rob is autistic. I mean, I'm not a doctor. But when I see the way that he can't process emotions at all, the way that he has never once considered my feelings before making a decision, that is not an opinion that I have. That is not something that I've made up. That is something he has told me. When Rob was saying, hey Joe, let's go to orgies. I think it's time for us to go to orgies and open up our marriage. You know when that was? That one is when I was lying in my bed, sick with COVID. I could barely fucking walk, and at that point, Rob said we need to open up the marriage. He didn't come down to my table. He didn't bring me supper. He didn't hold my hand when I was sick. He didn't call my friends and family saying, hey, Joe is really sick. Can you please come and help him? He did nothing except sit up there on the couch, rocking back and forth like this, or just staring at a wall. Not with the television on, just staring like Michael Myers. And you think I've been mean to him? So even though I was deathly ill, and my husband said, hey Joe, we need to open up the marriage, I was like, yeah, I think you're right, because I need to. I can't be disabled and single. I know what happens to single disabled people. So yeah, let's open up the marriage. Rob was fine with that until I got better. And as soon as I got better, he's like, no, I don't want the marriage opened. We used to go to a campground. A couple times, Rob would get up during the middle of the night, disappear for hours, come back, and I'd ask him where he went. He said he was looking at the stars, and I let that slide. I knew he was lying to me. I just didn't think it would be that he was lying about the fact he didn't love me. It's like the cliche of every gay movie where you're in high school and you're gay guys with their high school sweetheart. They're not really in love with them, but it's safe. And they don't want to break up with their high school sweetheart because if people find out who they really They don't want to break up with their sweetheart because their sweetheart is perfect. Their sweetheart hasn't done anything wrong. It's not the sweetheart's problem. Rob didn't love me. He pretended to because he knows he wanted to love me. He just didn't. And because of that, he felt like a shitty person. All he had to do was say, just, Joe, I'm not feeling it. Can we move on? But instead, he waited till I needed him the most, and then he told me. If he had told me years ago, Joe, I'm not feeling it, we could have sold the house, I would be in another house, I wouldn't have to worry about being homeless. But yeah, I'm being mean to Rob. I haven't said shit about Rob. I could. I told a few close people in real life what was happening. Some people at work knew. The last straw. This is the last straw. So you want me to tell me. This is the story I've told a few. This is what my best friends know. In the summer, I met a person, and I had this immediate connection with them. And I felt there is a connection back. And I did what you're supposed to do. I went to Rob and I said, Rob, we have a problem. I have a connection to this person, and it's really strong, and I don't know what to do with it. Rob's response was, it seems like I can understand why you're attracted to them. That sounds like a good idea. And again, my first response was like, are you fucking kidding me? That's how you respond? Because our marriage was not open. And I go to you and say, yeah, I'm thinking of sleeping with another guy. And your response is, yeah, that sounds like a good idea. And when I called him on that, I said, Rob, that's not an appropriate response. He kind of had that Terminator, like a robot. Like, let me search through the data bank and see if, I had to say, does it not make you upset that I want to sleep with another man? And his response was, again, literally thinking, well, I'm not happy about it. Again, I'm starting to see what's happening here. Rob doesn't understand human emotions. I'm looking at the man that I think is the love of my life, who I center my entire existence around, and I realize that I am not in his head at all. So we have another conversation about opening up the relationship, the marriage, and we're walking. So we're not at home, so it's Rob talks about going to the orgies again. And I have to ask him, like, Rob, when you were at the orgies, where am I? Rob stopped walking, hung his head and sighed and said, I hadn't thought about that. So my ex-husband wanted to go to orgies, but hadn't once thought about how I would feel about that, or what I would be doing while he was at the fucking orgies. Again, I'm not even saying that he wanted to date another person. And when I asked him, so if you're not sure if you want to go to an orgy, why are you not sure you want to do that? His response was, well, what if I can't get it up? My response is, what if I find someone and it damages our relationship? I was more concerned about our relationship. He was worried about not being able to perform in front of other people. my entire marriage was a lie. Just like what I thought this friendship was. We all have shit going on in our lives and can be hard as fuck to deal with. I know you know that I can sympathize with what you're going through right now, at least to some degree. No, you fucking can't. You can't, because you don't know what the fuck I've been through. You think what happened to me is the same thing that happened to you? No. Because what happened with you is your boyfriend wasn't able to perform sexually because of medication he was on, so you started sleeping with another man. That's what happened. Sound familiar? Did you give Rob the idea? As soon as I wasn't able to perform sexually because I was lying sick in bed? Did you tell him to do that? Or is it just your brains work the same way? Because if you're in a committed relationship and your partner is sick, the first response is, let's go get more dick from somewhere else. You are a child. If your partner is sick, your response is, I will be by my partner's side day in, day out until they get better. Rob left me in the fucking basement for months. But please, tell me how I've been mean to Rob.